Hello and welcome. In today's class 12th Physics, Chapter 3, Current Electricity, and topics are 3.13 Kirchhoff Law, Sign Conventions and Numericals based on Kirchhoff Law. For previous topic, you can see the previous videos in which we have covered the meaning of resistance, meaning of current, meaning potential difference, and so many things. So in this topic we will discuss the measurement of current by Kirchhoff law. Kirchhoff law is very important tool for complicated circuit. The circuit in which it is difficult to identify the which two resistances are in series or parallel. For that type of circuits we use Kirchhoff law. It is very easy tool for finding current and resistances in various circuits. The circuits may be like this, or like this. So in these circuits it is difficult to identify that these two resistances are in series or in parallel. First law or junction rule. It states that at any junction the sum of the currents entering the junction is equal to the sum of currents leaving the junction. That is summation I equal to 0. For applying this law we use some sign conventions. The incoming current towards junctions are taken as positive and the outgoing current away from the junctions are taken as negative. Take one example. If we have point O and I1, I4 are coming towards point O and I2, I3, I5 are leaving from point O, then we can write I1 minus I2 plus I3 plus I4 minus I5 is equal to 0. In this we have taken I2, I3, I5 negative because they are leaving from point O. So we can write here that I1 plus I4 is equal to I2 plus I3 plus I5. So current entering is equal to current leaving. So this law is based on charge conservation principle. Very important point. Now let's start second law, loop rule, or it is also known as KVL, Kirchhoff voltage law. It states that the algebraic sum of the changes in potential around any closed loop involving resistors and cell in the loop is 0. So that is summation V equal to 0. For applying this law we use some sign conventions. So sign conventions are: always trace loop either in clockwise or anti-clockwise manner. Second, in a loop the KVL equation is obtained by traversing a circuit loop in either direction and writing down unchanged the voltage of each element whose positive terminal is entered first, and write down the negative of every element whose minus sign come first. For example, if in a loop like this, if positive of EMF come first, we will write positive E, and if in a loop if negative of E come first, we will take minus E in equation. This is based on energy conservation principle. Now to understand this law, take one more example. Consider circuit. In this circuit there are three resistances R1, R2, R3 and 10 volt battery is applied in a loop. So for applying Kirchhoff voltage law in this circuit, we will write, if we're moving like this, so we will write plus VR1, then plus VR2, then plus VR3 and minus 10 is equal to 0. This is the equation of this circuit by KVL, Kirchhoff voltage law. So here we take minus 10 because minus comes first, and we take plus here because VR1, in VR1 plus comes first. One more circuit, one more example. In the same circuit, if you move anti-clockwise manner like this, so in this circuit, for writing the equation, VR1 is minus because minus comes first. For this, plus 10 volt. For R3, the potential difference is minus VR3, and for VR2 it's minus VR2 is equal to 0. So we can write once again VR1 by multiplying with minus sign, plus VR2 plus VR3 minus 10 is equal to 0. Again same equation. So it doesn't matter you proceed in anti-clockwise manner or clockwise manner, the answer remains same. Take one more example, law of Kirchhoff. So consider two EMF having resistances R1 and R3 are joined in a circuit as shown in figure. R2 is a common resistance. So when current is given, good, but when current is not given, then take this current as a I1 and this current as a I2. At point A, these two current will add up. So the current passing through AC is I1 plus I2. At point C, it will again divide, and this will becomes I1 and this will becomes I2. Now we have two loops. One loop is ABCA, complete loop by writing A, and for this loop the equation should be if we move in this direction, so here E positive terminal come first, then I1 R1 is reversing, so here minus I1 R1, and we are moving against the current here, so it should be minus I1 plus I2 R2. It is equal to 0. This is the equation for loop ABCA. I repeat, in loop ABCA, we are moving in clockwise manner like this, and here the potential difference across R1 is I1 R1, it is minus because we are moving and current is moving against the loop. Potential difference across R2 is I1 plus I2 taken as minus. Again the current and loop directions are opposite. and E1 is positive because during the loop plus of the E1 comes first. Similarly, we can take loop, second loop, loop ACDA. In loop ACDA, the potential difference across R2 is I1 plus I2 into R2 taken positive. Second, potential difference across R3 is I2 R3 taken as positive, and here the negative terminal come first, so minus E2 is equal to 0. So these are two equations for these two loops, and by these two loops equations we can calculate I1 and I2. In a Kirchhoff law, remember the equations, number of equations depends on the unknowns. If we have two unknowns, then we require two equations. If we have one unknown, then we require one equations, and if we have three unknowns, then we require three equations. So for applying Kirchhoff law, remember this concept. Now some points regarding Kirchhoff laws. These laws are applicable for both DC as well as AC. We can apply Kirchhoff law for AC circuits as well as for DC circuits. AC means alternating current and DC means direct current. These laws are applicable to other elements also, means if a circuit contains capacitor, inductors, resistors or combinations of these, so we can apply KVL or Kirchhoff laws for these circuits. Let's solve some numericals based on Kirchhoff law. So let's question 1. Determine the current through each branch in the adjoining circuit. So circuit is, so in this circuit we have 5 ohm 8 volt battery, 5 ohm here, 2.5 here and 6 volt battery here. So we have how many unknowns? So we have two unknowns here, current I1 and I2. So we need to calculate I1 I2. To calculate I1 I2 we require two equations. So take first loop. In loop A, B, C, D, A, in this loop. So in this loop there are three elements, one battery, 5 ohm resistance and 5 ohm resistance here. So the equation should be as per Kirchhoff law, minus 8. Why minus 8? Because minus comes here. Then potential difference across this is 5 I1. This is negative positive, this is negative because current is moving in this direction and we are moving in from A to B, so it should be minus. Then the potential difference across 5 ohm resistance is 5 I1 plus I2. This is minus because the current is moving in this direction and we are moving in this direction, so we are opposite is equal to 0. This is Kirchhoff's second law. The sum of potential difference in a closed loop is equal to 0, means summation V is equal to 0. So if we solve it, so it is minus 8 minus 5 and 5 10 I1 plus 5 I2 is equal to 0. So 10 I1 plus 5 I2 is equal to 8. This is equation 1. We need one more equation for solving these two I1 I2. So take the second loop, that is in loop F E C and D. F, like this. So F E C D F. So we are moving clockwise. So here, as per convention, the answer should be -6, then minus 2.5 I2, then minus 5 I1 plus I2 is equal to 0. So if we solve it, so it should be 6 is equal to 5 I1 plus this 2.5 and this 5 is equal to 7.5 I2. This is equation number 2. To solve this one in equation 1 and equation 2, we use simple step: multiply equation 2 with 2. So we will get 12 is equal to 10 I1 plus 15 I2, equation 3. And if we solve equation 1 and 3, we get 10 I1 plus 5 I2 is equal to 8, and 10 I1 plus 15 I2 is equal to 12. So solve it: minus minus minus, so these two will cancel, and the answer is minus 10 I2 is equal to minus 4. So I2 is equal to 4 upon 10, or you can say 0.4 ampere. If we put I2 in equation 1, we will get 10 I1 plus 5 into 0.4 is equal to 8. So I1 is equal to 8 minus 2 by 10 is equal to 6 by 10 is equal to 0.6 ampere. So these are the values of I1, I2 in the circuit. So current through AB is I1, that is equal to 0.6 ampere. The current through CD branch is I1 plus I2, it is equal to 0.6 plus 0.4 is equal to 1 ampere, and the current through EF branch is I2, that is equal to 0.4 ampere. So this is the answer of this question. I hope it is clear that I1 is 0.6 ampere and I2 is 0.4 ampere. Now move to question number 2. In the circuit shown in the figure, find the current through the branch BD. So we need to calculate current here. So for finding this current, we apply some assumptions. Let the current passing from 15 volt is I1 and the current passing from 30 is say I2. At this point B, it becomes I1 plus I2. So apply Kirchhoff law in loop A, B, D, A in this. So we'll get minus 15 because minus comes first. Then potential difference across 3 ohm is 3I1 with plus, then plus 3I1 plus I2 is equal to 0, and if we solve it, we'll get 15 is equal to 6I1 plus 3I2. If we divide the whole equation by 3, we will get 5 is equal to 2I1 plus I2, equation number 1. Now in loop, C, B, D, C, we'll write minus 30 plus 3I2 plus 3I1 plus I2 is equal to 0. So we will get 30 is equal to 6I2 plus 3I1. If we divide the equation by 3, we will get 10 is equal to I1 plus 2I2, equation number 2. Now solve equation 1 and 2. We get, if we multiply equation 2 by 2, we'll get 20 is equal to 2I1 plus 4I2, equation 3. Now solve 1 and 3, we get 5 2I1 plus I2, 20 2I1 plus 4I2, subtract, this will cancel, so minus 15 is equal to minus 3I2, so I2 is equal to 5 ampere. So I2 is 5 ampere. What is I1? I1 is, equation 1, 5 minus 5 by 2 is equal to 0. So I1 is 0. So current passing through BD arm is I1 plus I2. It means 0 plus 5 is equal to 5 ampere. This answer. So current is 5 ampere. Question 3. The figure shows a network of current. The magnitude of current is shown here. The current I will be. So what is the current I here? So by Kirchhoff first law, the summation of current entering is equal to the summation of current leaving. So it means the total current 5 plus 6 plus 2 should be equal to I. So I here is 13 ampere. So answer should be 13 ampere. Now one more question. Question 4. Calculate equivalent resistance between point A and C. So this symmetric circuit. We can solve this circuit by so many methods. Now let's see by Kirchhoff. So for applying Kirchhoff law for this circuit, take an EMF. E is applied across A and C, and let current passing from this E is 4I. Why 4I? Because in this case the current at this point will divide symmetrically. If we take point A, so current here is 2I and here is 2I. At point H, again it divide in two equal parts, I here and I here. At this point I, at this point again the I current will come here, it add up, and at this point we'll get 4I once again. So if we apply Kirchhoff voltage law in the loop, so in loop A, D, C, E, A, so the minus E is equal to what? 2IR, minus E plus 2IR plus IR plus IR, there is 2I, plus 2IR is equal to 0. So it means E is equal to 1, 2, 3, 6 IR, equation 1. If we assume whole circuit resistance equal to R, this point is A, this point is C. If current is passing here 4I, so E should be equal to 4I into this R. Let this R is the net resistance, R dash. So by equation 1 and 2, if we compare, so 4I R dash is equal to 6I R. So R dash should be equal to 3 by 2 R. So net resistance of this circuit is 3 by 2 R. So this is the another way of solving such type of circuits. You can see the one more method in previous lectures also. Now question 5. Calculate equivalent resistance between point A and C in this cube. This question is again based on symmetric circuit. So I am taking here symmetrically divisions. So here we have 10 volt battery, voltage is given here 10 volt, and here we have 3 equal arms, 1, 2 and 3. So that's why 3I will divide equally into I and I. So if we take at this point, again it will divide into 2 equal parts, I by 2 and I by 2. At this part, I by 2 come from this side, I by 2 come from this side, it becomes I. So I and I again becomes 3I. So current entering is equal to current leaving. In all electrical circuit, always remember this concept, the current entering should be equal to current leaving. You can take any values. If you take I here instead of 3I, so it will divide into 3 parts, means I by 3, I by 3 and I by 3 at this point 1, 2 and 3. Again this I by 3 will divide into I by 6, I by 6 and I by 6 at this part. At this part it will again combine and give you I by 3. At this point also I by 3 and I by 3. So again we will get I. So it depends on you, either you take I or 3I. So we have taken 3I here is for simplification only. Now apply Kirchhoff voltage law. So if we apply Kirchhoff voltage law in loop A, B, C, C dash, E and A, we'll get minus 10 plus I into R, smaller, the resistance of each branch is smaller. At this point, plus I by 2 into R, potential difference at this point. At this point, plus I into R is equal to 0. So 1 plus 1, 2, 2 plus half, 2.5. So 5 by 2 IR is equal to 10. Equation 1. If I assume resistance of the whole cube across A and C is R, so by Ohm's law 10 should be equal to 3I into net resistance. Equation 2. If I compare 1 and 2, we get 3IR is equal to 5 by 2 I into R. So I cancels, so big R is equal to 5 by 6 R. So this is the resistance of the cube, 5 by 6 R. Thank you. I hope Kirchhoff law and its numericals are clear.